Artifacts are weird, right? They're like these pieces of history that shouldn't really be here, but they are. Some of them hold stories that hit you right in the feels, and some, they're downright chilling. Welcome to the world of the Titanic, where tragedy and mystery collide. Today we're diving into 15 of the most haunting artifacts from that infamous ship, and trust us, these will make you think twice before booking a cruise. Hold tight. You might want to rethink that ocean trip after you hear about these relics that have survived the depths and still tell their stories. Let's start with number 15, violin. You know that iconic scene from James Cameron's Titanic, where the band keeps playing as the ship sinks? It's more than just a Hollywood moment. It's based on real-life heroism. Wallace Hartley, the band leader, was among the 1/500 souls who didn't make it off the ship. But his violin, that made it. The violin case was found strapped to his body when he was recovered from the ocean, and it's now one of the most famous Titanic artifacts. It was said that the band played "Nearer My God to Thee" as the ship went down, comforting the panicked passengers. Hartley's violin was later sold for $1.7 million, but its true value is emotional. The violin isn't just wood and strings. It's a symbol of sacrifice and unflinching bravery. It's hard to imagine what it was like for Hartley's fiancée, Maria, when she received the violin years later. What's more haunting than a reminder of a love lost? And the ultimate sacrifice? Well, nothing. At least not on this list. Number 14, huge piece of the hull. This isn't just a piece of metal. It's a piece of history. Known as the Big Piece, this 15-ton chunk of the Titanic's hull was recovered from the icy depths of the Atlantic in 1998. Measuring 13 feet by 30 feet, it's the largest Titanic artifact ever recovered. Imagine standing next to it. It's like standing next to the Titanic itself, feeling the weight of the tragedy wash over you. The Big Piece has portholes still holding remnants of glass, frozen in time, a silent witness to the ship's tragic fate. Some visitors claim to feel a strange, eerie sensation when they touch it, as if the ship's soul still lingers within. It's easy to see why. This massive fragment acts as a portal to the past, making the Titanic more than just a story. It brings the magnitude of its disaster into the present. When you stand before it, the myths fade, and the reality of the Titanic's final moments becomes all too real. Number 13, bowler hat. You wouldn't think a hat could carry such weight, but this hat is more than just an accessory. It's a symbol of lost lives. Recovered from the wreckage in 1993, this vintage bowler hat survived the freezing waters of the Atlantic, and it's a striking reminder of the men who boarded the Titanic in their finest attire, thinking their biggest worry was a little rough sea, not a sinking ship. Bowler hats were the height of fashion in 1912, worn by men who prided themselves on their refinement. But this particular bowler hat, whose owner remains a mystery, tells a different story. It serves as a reminder of the thousands of people who never made it to safety and the hope and dreams that ended too soon. It's a small object, but its meaning is anything but trivial. When you think about it, this hat doesn't belong to just one man. It represents all the lives that were cut short that fateful night. It's a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold great significance and tell powerful stories. What do you think? Well, let us know in the comment below. Now let's move to number 12, sheet music. When disaster strikes, it's easy to forget the little things that make life beautiful, like music. But as the Titanic descended into chaos, the band played on. Two pieces of sheet music recovered from the wreckage help us imagine what that final performance might have sounded like. One piece was from "Put Your Arms Around Me, Honey," a popular Broadway song at the time. These music sheets don't just offer a glimpse into the soundtrack of the Titanic. They also give us insight into the people who were on board. Imagine the chaos around them, frozen in panic, The band played to soothe the terrified passengers, desperately trying to maintain some semblance of normalcy. One of the men associated with the sheet music, Howard Irwin, never boarded the ship, but his companion, Henry Sudbury Jr., tragically did. The sheet music survived, but Sudbury didn't. It's a poignant reminder of what was lost that night, not just lives, but moments of beauty too. Number 11. Love letters. The Titanic disaster is remembered for its tragic loss, but it's also a symbol of eternal love. A fascinating piece of this story lies in a love letter discovered years after the sinking, written by Titanic cabin attendant Richard Geddes. This letter, penned on the ship's official stationery, reveals Geddes' deep affection for his wife. But it doesn't stop there. The letter also speaks of a near disaster that occurred just days before the Titanic's ill-fated iceberg collision. On April 10th, the ship narrowly avoided catastrophe when its propeller severed iron cables, putting it on a path to crash. Only quick thinking from Captain Smith and the intervention of a tugboat saved the ship. Geddes' letter reflects the tension aboard the Titanic, where love, worry, and fate mingled. As a rare artifact, it offers a personal glimpse into the lives aboard the ship, showing that even in the face of impending disaster, love endures, immortalized by the Titanic's tragic fate. Number 10. White gloves. Among the most unexpected Titanic artifacts are a pair of white cotton gloves, remarkably preserved despite the deep-sea conditions. The fabric's survival is a true rarity, considering how long materials usually last underwater. These gloves, with their elegant design, provide a glimpse into early 20th century fashion. Their remarkable condition only adds to their allure, despite the original owner remaining a mystery. For years, the gloves were part of Titanic exhibits, captivating visitors with their historical significance. In 2016, however, they were taken off display and placed in a conservation facility to protect them from further decay. The decision underscores the importance of preserving such artifacts for future generations. Though now hidden from public view, the gloves still serve as tangible links to the Titanic's passengers, offering a silent testament to their lives and the luxury they once enjoyed. They are symbols of an era gone by, reminders of the elegant lives aboard the ill-fated ship. Number 9. Vials of perfume. In 2000, an astonishing discovery was made during a Titanic salvage operation, a leather bag containing 62 vials of perfume samples. These vials belonged to Adolph Saffield, a 47-year-old perfume manufacturer traveling in first class. The bag was found years after the sinking, having stayed behind while Sheffield managed to evacuate. The perfume samples, preserved by the cold sea, provided an unexpected sensory link to the past. A painstaking effort was made to identify and recreate the fragrances, leading to the production of Legacy 1912, a perfume that captured the essence of Edwardian elegance. The scent, with hints of lemon, rose, and amber, transports us to a more refined time. But the story of the bag doesn't end there. The design of the perfume packaging was inspired by a door raised from the wreckage, a poignant memorial to the Titanic's tragic fate. These vials represent more than just perfume. They're a sensory connection to a forgotten era and the lives lost aboard the Titanic. Number 8. Pocket watch. A rusted pocket watch recovered from the body of Sanai Cantor, a Russian Jewish immigrant, holds an extraordinary narrative. Sanai and his wife Miriam boarded the Titanic as second-class passengers, hoping for a fresh start in America. But their dreams were shattered when the ship sank. As the women and children first policy saw Miriam saved, Sanai stayed behind, ultimately perishing in the icy waters. His pocket watch, a Swiss-made timepiece, was later recovered, its hands frozen in time. Though battered and discolored by the sea, the watch symbolizes the profound love and loss surrounding the Titanic disaster. In an unexpected twist, the watch fetched an astounding $5,500 at auction, preserving Sanai's story for future generations. The watch, weathered yet enduring, serves as a tangible reminder of the lives lost on that fateful night, keeping the memories of the passengers alive long after the tragedy. The tale of Sanai and Miriam is captured in the watch's dilapidated beauty, echoing a love story lost to time. Number 7. Menu of the ship's last meal. Before the Titanic's final plunge into the icy depths, it was renowned for its lavish dining experience, which has captivated us for over a century. The menus aboard the ship offer a window into the luxury enjoyed by its affluent passengers. The first-class menu was a feast for the senses, featuring dishes like spring lamb, roasted turkey with cranberry sauce, and sumptuous desserts like wine jelly. Second-class passengers weren't left wanting either, with hearty meals such as roasted chicken and grilled mutton chops. In contrast, the third-class menu was far simpler, focused more on sustenance than indulgence, offering meals like rice soup and boiled potatoes. Despite these differences, all classes on board were treated to an unforgettable culinary experience. The menus, carefully preserved, are more than just lists of food. They tell the story of a time when the Titanic embodied opulence and grandeur. Now, these artifacts serve as poignant reminders of a world that was lost along with the ship. Number 6. Set of keys. These aren't just any set of keys. They might have saved lives. When the Titanic was sinking, a courageous crew member named Samuel Hemming grabbed these keys, which opened a chamber below deck that housed life-saving lifeboat lamps. Think about it. A room full of desperate souls in total chaos, and Hemming risking everything to grab those lamps. His actions gave survivors a fighting chance. He carried these keys for the rest of his life, a quiet reminder of the bravery that helped save others. After years of being passed through generations, the keys were eventually sold at auction in 2016 for a jaw-dropping $100,000. But the price? It's not just about the money. It's a reminder of what was lost that night. This tiny key ring bridges the gap between history and humanity, offering us a glimpse into the reality of that unforgettable tragedy. Number 5. Titanic Deck Bell. On the fateful night of April 14, 1912, the Titanic sailed through icy waters, unaware of the impending doom that loomed. As the gleaming ship cut through the dark sea, Frederick Fleet, the lookout in the crow's nest, spotted the fatal iceberg. Panic surged through the vessel as he rang the ship's bell 3 times, a desperate cry for help. This bell, a haunting symbol of that night's tragedy, was recovered decades later, in 1987, from the ocean's depths. Today, it resides in the Titanic Museum as a poignant reminder of the lives lost and the bravery of those who tried to avert disaster. The chilling revelation that the lookouts were denied binoculars, an omission that might have saved the ship, only adds weight to the tragedy. For Fleet, the psychological scars never healed. After his wife's death in 1965, he tragically ended his life, a final painful echo of the Titanic's lingering curse. Number 4. Harold's Whistle. Among the many stories of heroism that emerged from the Titanic disaster, 5th Officer Harold Lowe's actions stand out. Lowe, the man who defied all odds to save lives, carried a unique relic, the whistle that he used to guide his lifeboat to safety. After ensuring the survival of his passengers, Lowe made an audacious return to the wreckage, risking his life to rescue others stranded in the freezing waters. The whistle, now a symbol of his unwavering courage, is an artifact of profound significance. It is set to be auctioned for nearly $3,800, reflecting both the artifact's historical weight and Lowe's indelible legacy. Harold Lowe, whose fearless actions earned him posthumous admiration, was known for challenging authority, even confronting J. Bruce Ismay, the White Star Line executive, in a bid to save lives. The whistle, etched with Lowe's name, is a testament to selflessness in the face of unspeakable tragedy. Number 3. Alligator Purse. Marion Meanwell, a British hat manufacturer, never intended to board the Titanic. Yet, when fate took an unexpected turn, she found herself on the ill-fated ship, her alligator skin purse in tow. Inside, hidden amongst the elegant folds of the leather, were priceless documents: her marriage certificate, a Canary shipment voucher, and a note from a former landlord. These fragile treasures were shielded from the icy waters by the purse's tough, durable material, surviving the tragedy when so much else did not. Marion's life, like so many others, was tragically cut short, and one can only wonder how different her story would have been if she had boarded a different ship. Her purse, now a rare artifact, carries more than just the weight of its material. It is a somber reminder of how life's ambitions, hopes, and dreams can vanish in an instant. Number 2. Bronze Cherub. A symbol of innocence amid catastrophe, the bronze cherub that once graced Titanic's grand staircase carries with it an air of both mystery and sadness. This small statue, now displayed at the Luxor Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, was part of a set that adorned the ship's most iconic feature, the grand staircase. While most cherubs on the ship were much larger, this one likely originated from the upper levels of the first-class staircase. Its survival, though seemingly insignificant, holds a deeper meaning. In the chaos of that fateful night, religious symbolism like this cherub seemed almost ironically out of place, yet its presence endured. The cherub, once believed to represent divine protection, survived the tragedy, evoking questions about human arrogance, divine retribution, and the mysteries of existence. It remains a haunting link to the lives lost and the tragedy that none could foresee. Number 1. Amy's Bracelet. Among the treasures that once adorned the Titanic, Amy's bracelet stands out as a tragic symbol of the ship's luxurious past. This exquisite piece of jewelry, crafted with 15-karat gold and delicate silver overlay, was a testament to the craftsmanship of the era. Yet it was not just a piece of adornment. It represented the hopes, dreams, and love of its mysterious owner. Although Amy's identity remains unknown, her bracelet has endured as a tangible link to the passengers' lives aboard the Titanic. Estimated to be worth millions, this bracelet carries with it a sense of lost potential, of a woman whose life was tragically cut short. Surviving the ship's sinking, it symbolizes both the fleeting nature of wealth and the enduring memory of those whose lives the disaster touched. Though Amy's story remains untold, her bracelet whispers her legacy in the currents of time. And there you have it, folks. 15 horrifying things that were found aboard the Titanic. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more fascinating content like this. And let us know in the comments below which item you found most intriguing.